All right, let's jump into another deep dive. Today, we're going to go way back in tech history.
Oh, this should be fun.
I know, right? We're going to explore OS2.
OS2, okay.
You know, this is an operating system you might not even know existed.
I'm intrigued already.
Yeah, it's really interesting stuff. And to help us uncover this fascinating piece of tech history,
Okay.
we're going to learn all about a guy named Martín Itúrbide,
Yeah.
a dedicated OS2 user and advocate.
Wow. Okay.
And we're going to learn all about him through his wiki page
Oh, cool.
on os2world.com.
All right.
So get ready to learn about the longevity of OS2, this
Mm-hmm.
dedicated community that keeps it alive,
Okay.
and why this all matters, even in our modern world of, Windows,
Yeah.
Mac OS,
Right.
all that good stuff.
Yeah, it's a story that challenges our assumptions about technological progress, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, we often think of the tech world as a constant march toward the new and shiny. But OS2 and its community show us that there's value in preserving and even evolving what many might consider obsolete.
Exactly. So who is this Martín Itúrbide?
Yeah.
Well, his wiki page tells us he's been an OS2 user since 1995,
Wow.
which is practically ancient history
Yeah.
in the tech world.
That's incredible.
And he also obtained a Bachelor of Science degree in computer science
Okay.
at the incredibly young age of 19,
Oh, wow.
and has been actively involved in the OS2 community ever since.
That's really something. What's remarkable is that Iturbide's involvement goes beyond just being a user.
Oh, really?
He's been the os2world.com newsmaster since the year 2000.
Wow.
Can you imagine that kind of dedication to a single platform for so long?
No.
It really speaks to the enduring appeal of OS2,
Yeah.
and more importantly, the strength of the community that surrounds it.
It really does make you wonder what makes OS2 so special that someone would devote decades of their life to it.
Yeah.
I mean, was it just a great operating system?
Right.
Or is there something more to the story?
Well, OS2 itself was quite innovative for its time. It was developed by Microsoft and IBM back in the 1980s
Okay.
and was a direct competitor to early versions of Windows.
Interesting.
In fact, OS2 had features like multitasking and a graphical user interface before they became mainstream in Windows.
So if OS2 was so advanced,
Yeah.
why did it fade away? Why didn't it become like the dominant operating system?
Well, the story of OS2 is a bit of a tech industry soap opera.
Okay.
The partnership between Microsoft and IBM eventually dissolved,
Right.
with Microsoft choosing to focus on their own Windows operating system.
Okay.
This left OS2 without the same level of development and marketing muscle.
Right.
And it ultimately lost the battle for market share.
Okay, so even though OS2 isn't a household name,
Right.
people like Itúrbide kept it alive.
Yeah.
His wiki page mentions that he's all about open source software and collaboration within the OS2, RKOS, and ECS platforms. These are all systems that have carried the torch of OS2 in different ways.
Interesting.
There's even a quote that says, when he is not dreaming in Technicolor about a full OS2 open source clone.
Huh.
I love that. It sounds so hopeful,
Yeah.
even a little defiant.
That quote really gets to the heart of the open source movement, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The belief that even if a technology is abandoned by its original creators,
Right.
a passionate community can step in not just to preserve it, but to make it even better.
Right.
Open sourcing the code allows for collaboration, customization, and continued development, breathing new life into what might otherwise be a forgotten system.
That's fascinating. It's like taking control of your technological destiny.
Absolutely.
Itúrbide isn't just using OS2, he's actively trying to shape its future.
Exactly. And that commitment is evident in the many roles he's taken on within the community.
Okay.
He's not just the os2world.com newsmaster. He's a forum moderator,
Wow.
a wiki contributor,
Okay.
and even a board member for WarpStop,
Warpstock.
the big OS2 conference.
Oh, wow.
This isn't just a hobby for him.
Bro.
It's a mission to keep OS2 relevant.
Wow. So he's like the unofficial ambassador for OS2.
Right.
It's inspiring to see someone so dedicated to a technology that many people might consider outdated.
Yeah.
It makes me think about those times when I've been passionate about something that wasn't mainstream.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
Like, remember when we were all obsessed with that obscure indie band?
I do. And I think that personal connection to a niche interest helps us understand the dedication of someone like Itúrbide.
Totally.
There's a certain satisfaction in being part of a smaller community.
Yeah.
Sharing knowledge and contributing to something you truly believe in.
Absolutely. And Itúrbide takes that dedication even further with his Help Wanted section.
Really?
On his wiki page.
Wow.
He's actively seeking help from the community to do things like open sourcing more OS/2 software, contributing to the hardware wiki.
Interesting.
And even finding old IBM materials. It's almost like a call to arms.
Yeah.
For OS/2 enthusiasts.
It's more than just a call to arms. No. It's a recognition that preserving and updating older software is a complex challenge that requires a collective effort.
Right.
One of the biggest hurdles Itúrbide mentions is hardware compatibility.
Right, yeah.
As technology advances.
Yeah.
Older software often struggles to run on newer hardware, and finding ways to bridge that gap is essential for keeping these systems alive.
It sounds like a constant race against time.
It is.
But it's also incredibly resourceful.
Yeah.
The way this community is working together to overcome these challenges.
Absolutely.
I'm starting to see why Itúrbide and the OS/2 community are so fascinating.
Indeed, there's a tenacity and ingenuity here that's worth exploring further.
Right.
And speaking of exploration, Itúrbide's wiki page lists a whole collection of articles and presentations that offer a glimpse into the world of OS/2.
Ooh, that's right. The titles alone sound intriguing.
I know, right?
Some of them are quite technical.
Yeah.
Like extracting hardware information from Archaeos in OS/2.
Okay.
But then there are others that hint at a whole world of OS/2 culture and history.
Yeah, it's a treasure trove of information, isn't it?
It is.
And it makes you realize that OS/2 is more than just lines of code and technical specifications.
Right.
It's a community, a culture, and even a philosophy of technology.
It really is. It's like we've stumbled upon this hidden world,
Exactly.
within the tech world.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so curious to delve into some of these articles and presentations that Itúrbide has shared.
Yeah, I think it's a great way to really understand the depth and breadth of the OS/2 world.
For sure.
What titles caught your eye?
Well, some of them sound like they could be straight out of a tech thriller.
Oh, really? Like what?
Like Danger Will Robinson, ATMs, migrating to Windows.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that just screams drama, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Makes you wonder what was at stake during that transition.
Right.
And how the OS/2 community responded to the rise of Windows in such a critical area like banking.
It does highlight the real-world impact of these technological shifts, doesn't it?
Oh, for sure.
ATMs are something we all use, rely on. And Itúrbide's article probably offers a very unique perspective on how that technology evolved.
And then there are titles that sound almost nostalgic.
Oh, yeah.
Like remembering how to install MPTS and TCP/IP on Warp 3.
Wow.
I have to admit, I don't know what MPTS is. But it sounds like some kind of ancient ritual from the early days of networking.
Right. It does have a certain ring to it.
Yeah.
MPTS stands for Multi-Protocol Transport Services.
Okay.
And it was essentially a way to connect OS/2 machines to different types of networks.
No, sure.
And Warp 3 was a specific version of OS/2, released back in 1994.
Okay.
So Itúrbide's article is like a time capsule.
Right.
Taking us back to a very specific moment in OS/2's evolution.
Wow. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much technology has changed in such a relatively short amount of time.
It really is.
And yet here's Itúrbide still working with these systems, documenting them, even trying to update them for the modern world.
Exactly. And that brings us back to the Help Wanted section on his wiki page. It's a reminder that preserving these older systems is an ongoing process.
Yeah.
And Itúrbide recognizes the need for collaboration.
Yeah.
He specifically mentions the hardware wiki as an area where people can contribute.
Right.
And this wiki most likely documents the various hardware components that were compatible with OS/2 and its derivatives.
Gotcha.
Which is crucial information for anyone trying to keep these systems running today.
So it's not just about preserving the software.
Right.
It's about understanding the hardware ecosystem as well.
Yeah.
It sounds like a massive undertaking.
And it is. And it really gets to the heart of the challenges of maintaining any legacy system. As technology advances, hardware becomes obsolete.
Right.
Drivers become unavailable.
Yeah.
And it takes real dedication and resourcefulness
to find workarounds and solutions.
It makes me think of Itúrbide as like a digital archaeologist.
Oh, wow.
Carefully excavating the past and piecing together these fragments of a forgotten world.
That's a fantastic analogy.
Thanks.
And just like an archaeologist, Itúrbide isn't just collecting artifacts.
Yeah.
He's trying to understand them.
Right.
contextualize them,
Yeah.
and share that knowledge with others.
He even mentions searching for old IBM materials.
Interesting.
What kind of materials would those be, and why are they important?
Well, it could be anything from internal documents to design specifications to even marketing materials.
Wow.
These materials provide valuable historical context, helping us understand the design decisions behind OS2, the challenges that it faced, and the aspirations of its creators.
Yeah.
It's like filling in the gaps in the historical narrative.
Yeah, it's fascinating to think about the stories these materials could tell.
I know, right? I'm starting to see the value in preserving these seemingly obscure details.
Right.
It's not just about nostalgia.
Right.
It's about understanding the evolution of technology as a whole.
Precisely. By studying the successes and failures of past systems, we can gain valuable insights that inform our present and future.
It makes me wonder, what would the tech landscape look like today if OS2 had become like the dominant operating system?
Oh, wow.
Would we be using computers in a completely different way?
That's a question that historians and computer scientists still debate to this day.
Yeah.
It's impossible to know for sure, but it's certainly an intriguing thought experiment.
For sure.
What we do know is that OS2 made significant contributions to the development of personal computing. And some of its ideas, like multitasking and a focus on stability, are still very relevant today.
It's amazing to think about the ripple effects.
I know, right?
Of even seemingly failed technologies.
Right.
There's always something to be learned, isn't there?
Absolutely. And the fact that people like Itúrbide are so passionate about preserving and sharing this knowledge makes it even more valuable.
Yeah.
It reminds us that progress isn't always about forgetting the past. It's about learning from it.
I'm starting to feel a little inspired by Itúrbide's dedication.
Yeah, me too.
It makes me want to dig deeper into the history of technology.
And
discover the stories behind the devices and software we use every day.
That's the beauty of exploring these niche areas of technology.
Totally.
It opens up a whole new world of possibilities, and it challenges us to think differently about the tools we take for granted.
It's like we've been so focused on the latest gadgets and apps that we've forgotten about the foundations upon which they were built.
Exactly.
And those foundations are often more fascinating and complex than we realize.
They are. And the OS2 community, with its dedicated advocates like Martín Itúrbide, are like the guardians of that history.
Oh, wow.
They're ensuring that the knowledge and innovations of the past aren't lost to time.
It makes you wonder what other hidden communities are out there. Passionately preserving and evolving technologies that most of us have forgotten about.
Yeah.
What can we learn from them?
That's a great question. It challenges us to look beyond the mainstream and appreciate the diversity and resilience of the tech world.
And maybe it even inspires us to explore our own passions. No matter how niche or obscure they might seem.
Exactly. Passion is what drives innovation and discovery.
Yeah.
And it's often found in the most unexpected places.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
We started this deep dive talking about this like seemingly obscure operating system. But it's turned into like this much broader conversation about community.
Yeah.
Passion and the value of preserving technological history.
It has, hasn't it? The story of Martín Itúrbide and OS2 is like a really powerful reminder that technology is more than just gadgets and code. It's about the people who create it. Yeah.
Use it. And find meaning in it.
And sometimes it's about the people who refuse to let it fade away, even when like the rest of the world has moved on.
Exactly.
It makes you wonder if every passionate community had an advocate as dedicated as Itúrbide. What could be accomplished? What other lost technologies or knowledge bases could be revived or reimagined?
It's an inspiring thought, isn't it?
Totally.
Imagine the possibilities if we applied that same level of dedication and ingenuity to preserving and evolving other aspects of our cultural heritage. Not just technology, but art, music, literature, even traditional crafts.
It's like we've been given this blueprint for how to keep these valuable things alive, even in a rapidly changing world. Maybe that's like the most important takeaway from our deep dive into the world of OS2.
Perhaps it is. It's a call to action for all of us to be more curious, more engaged,
more willing to explore these hidden corners of our world.
So for our listeners who might be feeling inspired by Itúrbide's story, where would you recommend they start? If someone wanted to like dip their toes into the world of OS2, what resources are out there?
Well, Iturbide's wiki page on os2world.com is an excellent starting point.
Okay.
It's a treasure trove of information,
Mm-hmm.
links, and even personal anecdotes that offer a glimpse into the OS2 community.
Right.
And from there, you can explore forums, online archives.
Yeah.
You can even connect with other OS2 enthusiasts who are always eager to share their knowledge.
It sounds like a very welcoming community.
Yeah.
One where newcomers are embraced and encouraged to learn.
It is, and that's something we can all appreciate.
For sure.
But regardless of our technical expertise, the OS2 community reminds us that technology can be a powerful force for connection and collaboration.
It's a beautiful thought, isn't it?
It is.
That even in a world increasingly dominated by algorithms and artificial intelligence, there's still room for human passion, curiosity, and a desire to connect with others over shared interests.
And who knows, maybe you'll discover something that sparks your own passion project.
Yeah.
A forgotten technology,
Right.
a lost art form, or a hidden community that's just waiting to be discovered.
So as we wrap up our deep dive,
I
want to encourage all of our listeners to embrace that sense of wonder and possibility. Go explore, ask questions, never underestimate the power of a dedicated community.
Sometimes the most fascinating discoveries are found in the most unexpected places.
Absolutely.
And often, it's the people like Martín Itúrbide who guide us to those discoveries.
Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of OS2.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We hope you learned something new, maybe sparked your curiosity, and even found a little inspiration along the way.
Until next time, keep exploring
Keep learning.
and keep diving deep.